So we signed up for another tournament. This is another $100 a due tournament. Let's talk about this tournament format, and let's talk about what it incentivizes and how you beat it. Two deck. Okay. Zero ban, so everyone's bringing two decks. And you are allowed one overlapping region with no champions, right? So what that means is, I mean, you can basically just bring the same deck twice. Which I think makes it kind of a bad format, personally. I don't know. I really like the format that forces you to bring, like, no two colors in different decks, personally. I think that's a good format. I think it's kind of where Runeterra needs to move forward. But apparently it does seem currently more popular, at least among, tournament organizers. And I mean, there's probably plenty of players that just don't like having to build multiple decks. So let me explain the problems with formats like this, right? Where it is, you can have at most one overlapping region between your two decks, and you can have at most zero overlapping champions. You can't use any of the same champions. The problem is that there's certain decks you can still just kind of like bring two of. Even with zero overlapping champions, you can bring two Bannerman decks. You can bring like two elusive decks. You can bring, and that's all well and good. Those aren't really the bigger issue. The bigger issue is actually like people like doubling up on like hard control decks, because again, it's Conquest, and what Conquest means is its weakest link. So you want to basically design a lineup around effectively targeting, hard targeting or soft targeting or whatever you want to do. But I think it's generally a mistake to not do some amount of targeting in Conquest, because you're just getting like you're getting just value plus EV on your wins. On your matches, just by having at least a soft target. You want to make sure that both of your decks are at least countering like one deck that's fairly common to bring, right? I think personally, it depends on the format and it depends on the card pool and the meta, but I think almost always it's just a mistake to not do that. Fairly straightforward to think about, but when you win a game, your opponent has to play the same deck again against your other deck. So whenever you're winning, you're just doing yourself a disservice if your second deck doesn't also counter that deck you just beat, right? You're basically just getting free win percentage on the matchup. It's a notable number, depending on how hard you target. It's quite easily going to be like over 5%, over 10%. These are big percentages. They sound small, but they're big. Basically, that's kind of a flaw with this format. What that would look like is, for example, bringing like hard control Shadow Isles with Karma, and bringing hard control Shadow Isles with, let's say, Karina. Why not? I mean, you could bring Karina. That's not that bad. And I think that it's kind of a mistake for a format to allow you to do that, because it plays a little too well into the idea of like hard targeting, right? It's true that the decks use none of the same champions, and it's true that the decks do use quote-unquote different win conditions, but, I mean, they have like 25 of the same cards, 30 of the same cards, right? They're like, at their core, they're basically the same deck, right? Isn't everyone going to bring Bannerman? Is that not targetable? Bannerman is... So here's the thing. Typically, on average, you'll find that the decks that are most common are also the least targetable. Because, of course, it's the same as in like a ladder ecosystem. The decks that are most popular are the least counterable, typically, right? And it's kind of the same as ladder, which is that ultimately you can't really go too far out of your way with the target, because if you hit a matchup that's not running Bannerman, then that's going to be a problem, right? So on average, you're going to find the same patterns, which is like something like Bannerman. It is targetable. There are some people that target Bannerman. It's definitely something that you can do. In the last tournament, we did kind of like a soft target on Bannerman. We did a double target with aggro and Bannerman, mostly aggro aside of Bannerman, and it worked out pretty well. Hit a bad matchup in round 6, got eliminated, but we made it pretty far. Aggro tends to be overrepresented anyway due to its ability to end games quickly, making it an ideal laddering deck. That is also correct. Very good, very good. Oh, the question remains, where are we? Where are we going to end up on our deck list for this tournament if we want to target aggro? So here is, by the way, the problem with my strategy. Right now, the deck I'm probably most comfort on is Ezreal Noxus. And Ezreal Noxus can't be a part of this lineup, because this deck probably loses to aggro, specifically burn aggro. Ezreal is a really good ladder deck. Ezreal Noxus is a great ladder deck because it kind of has like very stable matchups, right? This is a really, really important characteristic. This is why at a high win rate, low sample size, I'm able to make the prediction that Nox Ezreal will stabilize as a tier 1 deck. And I might be wrong. I mean, who knows? The jury's not out on that. Some people agree, some people disagree. But I personally think Nox Ezreal is going to be tier 1. A large part of the reason for that is because it has the properties that a tier 1 deck needs. It's stable. It has the ability to not be a very counterable deck. Most of its matchups are pretty close to 50-50 and skill-based, which is exactly what you want on a ladder deck. So for a tournament deck, though, the problem is that it's kind of hard to do a target with Nox Ezreal, right? You want matchups that are slightly more skewed. So let's check this out. So again, the format is 2-deck Conquest, 0 bans, SSB Darren. This looks like a Nox Ezreal deck, but sometimes Draven is actually, sometimes Draven is actually like Jinxless Burn. Sometimes that's a thing. So it is actually aggro. Jinxless aggro, got Funsmith, pretty cute. It's hot, dude. I mean, I dig it. I tried like running Funsmith in this deck. I mean, hey, it's certainly funny. It's not that far off. I think it's a little trolly, but it's actually not that far off. It's not as trolly as you would think. It's trolly enough, though. And then he's got good old elusives. Most standard elusives possible. Okay, SSB Darren. He claims he will win rock, paper, scissors this time. Okay, buddy. Best of 5? Let's fucking go, dude. I'm fucking nuts at rock, paper, scissors. You don't have a fucking chance. People that think they're good at rock, paper, scissors open paper. People be thinking they're hot shit. Already by saying I'm gonna win this time, he's doing a bit of a tell. Now he's gonna stay on paper. He thinks he's outgaming me here. Safety scissors. Safety scissors. Not bad, not bad. Probably back to paper. Inside his head! I'm so fucking nuts! Okay. That's an outplay. That's an outplay. He could have predicted I would move to rock there. That's actually, that's a very, very predictable spot. Takes a bit of time on this one. Takes a bit of time. It's hard for him to go rock here. There's a bit of a comeback happening. There's a bit of a comeback happening. I can't put him on rock, I think. Okay, we're good. God, I'm fucking the best, dude. Nobody can out rock, paper, scissors me. Nobody! That's a fucking challenge to any of you. If you guys think you can out rock, paper, scissors me, you're fucking wrong. I'm nuts, dude. This is my game. Like, I'm fucking, my Psych 101 class is just coming in. It spent like 8 years lying dormant and doing nothing for my understanding of the human mind. But now that we have competitive rock, paper, scissors, you guys, anyone who didn't take Psych 101 is just at a disadvantage against me. I'm on fire. Okay, what are my decks again? Ezreal and elusives. I don't even name elusives. I'm just gonna delete it afterwards. So I go first in the first game, which I think forces him onto elusives. So let's do the elusives mirror. Balls on this guy. I'm first up and he plays burn. I mean, it's kind of like a cheeky counter play because burn really likes going first. Isn't it double elim? Oh, is it double elim? It's not single elim, you just didn't scroll down the bracket. Okay, it's not single elim, it's double elim. I should read the rules, whatever. Do you keep Lifeblade against burn? Ha, God. You probably have to, don't you? I mean, you need to hand buff it. You need Jeweled Protector for it to actually pay off. That's it. Oh, God. It's kind of insane to keep Lifeblade. A good player would always draw it later. Wrong deck.
Your deck is named Gross. Oh wait, did I wrong deck? Hang on. Wait. Wrong deck. Sorry. Wait. We picked the wrong deck. Wait. Hang on. Wait. No. He surrendered. We got him. Okay. Okay. Wait. He's guys, wrong deck. We picked the wrong deck. You guys saw it. Wrong deck. Now let's pick Burn. We got him with the wrong deck, sorry. Jesus. So, for the record, it's probably within his rights to call it a DQ. Or not a DQ, but like a -1. It's within his rights to say, like, you know, he can call a win.
Round 1, fight.
I think that, honestly, not a lot of people do that. I don't know. If it was like Mago, he'd probably fucking do that. I picked the right deck this time, though, so we're good. I kind of hate Zed in this matchup. Duo's good enough. Fuck you, dude. Mago, would you not do that? Have you changed?
Quietly. Nothing like the great outdoors.
He can't block this.
Vandal scouts are never free.
Ooh. Can you block that? I'm pretty happy with that trade.
Where's my axe?
Do I have to block that? That's when it starts to feel bad, when my duo is blocking rear guards.
2, 3, 4.
Kind of a bad hand. Maybe I chose the wrong deck again. What do you guys think? Uh-oh. We lost. Good thing it's double Elam, huh? Wrong deck. Definitely wrong deck. Dude, if I just name all of my decks the same thing, then I can't know which deck is the right deck. So I can always wrong deck. Luck the Teemo. I'm not really worried about the Teemo. I mean, it kind of feels like you have to play passive, right? Don't I have to block the Legion rearguard? I mean, I can't race him, especially with Teemo.
Where are you going?
This feels pretty bad, though. This hand is looking like a wrong deck.
There's enough for everyone.
Yeah, me too, dude. I don't know, triple Green Glade Duo and Windfare Hatchling is a really, really bad hand against aggro. Against, like, some slow decks, triple Duo Windfare Hatchling is actually kind of sweet.
The Yordle here's with me.
It's Draven time.
Stealth nerf to Mushroom Sound. Yeah, is the new Mushroom Sound actually intentional? I thought it was a bug at first, but I guess it was an intentional change. Honestly, it just seems kind of weird. TBQH. Trading my 2 mana cards for 1 mana cards. That's kind of a feels bad, man.
Hold up.
It feels like kind of impossible to not take this trade, though. I don't know. The team is not going to find a lot of use later. I don't know how to play a hand like this. This is just a really, really strange hand.
Where are you going?
I think I actually, I think I don't use I don't use will or anything yet, though. I'm pretty happy to will after this. Whoa! What? How do you do that? That's kind of crazy, right? I don't know. I mean, a Jeweled Protector improves this hand like crazy. Like, 1 Jeweled Protector draw and I'm kind of nuts. Jinx in hand? Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of have to have Jinx in hand. I don't know. I mean, I might just be playing this spot wrong just because it's like a really, really weird... Like, dude, Shadow Assassin would have been great before. Because what Shadow Assassin means is we kind of don't have to, like, sacrifice Green Glades as much. I think I probably duo before Assassin. He's on 3 Static Shock version. Yeah, the 3 Static Shock version might actually make that kind of hard. 1 Blade's Edge. I'll duo before Assassin.
Resting face.
Another day in the field.
Silent as death.
That's a decent draw. My hand's improving a bit. I don't know. I mean, we have all 6 Freljord cards in deck, which makes our Wayfinder odds a little monka. Tiny bit. Whoa.
I can do this.
I mean, you have to Wayfinder now. I just hope you connect. You can't not Wayfinder now.
Extra hands never hurt.
I don't know. He's not really putting very much pressure on us. He needs to, like, get an early Jinx flip to feel dominant here, I think. I'm pretty happy to do something like this. He'll probably kill the Green Glade, but trading it for Boom Crew feels pretty good here. I'm actually kind of fine just slow playing and not racing, because Green Glade is, like, at a risk to any, like, Static Shock draw or, like, Jinx flip. Your verse is a Teemo Draven, no Jinx deck. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's really unlikely he draws Jinx. That's true. It's like 0%. I like the way you guys think. I mean, honestly, trumping the Draven with a 2-1 is probably fine. I think that's actually kind of like top value right now for this 2-1. This is a decent chance he's on Static Shock right now. That feels really good.
Hope this works.
These 2 health life blades kind of don't feel really good. Is there a consideration to bump Wayfinder instead of Omenhawk? I don't think I have the mana for that. I need to play kind of like a faster game. I don't know. The Wayfinder attack puts out a decent amount of pressure. If I draw Jeweled Protector, I'll probably play it instead. It's really important to be able to get my card down, I think. This is a decent safety draw. The problem, like, I would love to play Life Blades now, but at 2 health, they're just gonna die. I mean, they eat removal out of my face, which is nice, but I'm never gonna get, like, the Life Blade into Hatchling. So this is kind of, like, top of my Hatchling value. I don't know. I mean, it might force him... It does put him on a bit more of a clock, which I like. I don't think I'm gonna need to keep Will Mana open right now. Like... He'll block with Teemo, which he would have done anyway, but taking him down to 8 health I think is pretty nice here. Puts him on a clock of 1. Full attack. Looks like a solo block with Teemo.
Can't spoil the surprise.
Having like Life Blades with no Omenhawk buff or no Jeweled Protector buff is of course really feels bad, man. He's on 2 Cask Salesman, 3 Legion Grenadier. But I like the clock of 2 that I put him to here. That is not really what you want, but it kind of ends up being okay here. So it's just probably Omenhawk, keep the dream alive. Pretty good odds he's flipping Jinx right now, which means he'd be able to do the rocket before the attack. You don't get rocket on the first turn though. Also, he doesn't run Jinx, so it's actually really low odds. Man, that's... Oh, yeah. It feels like a vulnerability. Like, running 0 Jinx means I can say he's not going to play Jinx, and I can actually say that with certainty, too. Dude, how do you not play Jinx in this deck? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but like, who doesn't run Jinx in this deck? Come on. What is this?
Let's do this.
I don't know. I think I probably have him on a clock of 2 either way here. Actually, I kind of don't mind using Will on Draven, to be honest. Okay, I kind of do mind that. I mean, do we actually get a good open attack? Yeah, Will on Draven looks good. Kind of looks like the best option here. I'll do a safety block. Safety block actually is just kind of bad. All it does is play into Whirling Death. I mean, he can't stop the Will anyway, right? So there's no safety block. I'll just do this. This looks fine. So he needs like Brothers Bond here, but I mean, it's not really going to be good value. So I mean, he takes us down to 8, which is fairly low. I mean, we might have an open attack kill here. Open attack here forces him to block with something big. I think I don't like doing an open attack. I really want to develop into this attack, given his amount of tools. Open attacking here would be really, really Papega, I think. I think it makes literally no sense. It's probably the stupidest thing I've ever actually said. I don't know. So the question is, what's his card? Probably like Cask Salesman or something. Get Excited. It's not going to be a very useful card. It's like Cask Salesman or Get Excited. Or maybe something stuck like Funsmith. It's basically not something I'm very worried about. And there's no top deck that really slows this attack down. I mean, Cask Salesman is the best top deck to slow this attack down, but my 4 elusive attack still gets there. Refuge protects us from Get Excited, so we usually have lethal ranges right now.
These are dangerous lands.
I'll play the Lifeblade now. If his card is Decimate, I'm not at risk of losing the game there. His card is... It needs to be Get Excited or something to stay alive here. So my 4 elusive attack just wins, right? Pretty sure even if it doesn't win, this is the correct play. I mean, so it looks like Get Excited. We'll just Spirit's Refuge. Beautiful simultaneous Shen emote.
Fatality.
All jokes aside, I have to be really careful about queuing with the wrong deck, because if it's not somebody that I know, I mean, they definitely might just like, you know, call a one match. Because you are, I mean, that is within your rights to do, unless the TO is gonna reward strategies like that, which they shouldn't. That's always within your rights to do. He chooses to go second. It's Conquest, so I'm playing my other deck either way, right? I don't really know what this deck is, whatever. The guy was on the wrong deck also, Jinx deck with no Jinx. Okay, guys, can we not bully me over this? I just like, I don't know how you run a deck like that without Jinx, man. It's just, it doesn't register in my brain.
Round 2. Fight.
I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was running like versions without Jinx a few days ago. I kind of like, that's a sort of like back and forth kind of issue. So he's running the most standard elusive deck possible, like 2 Deny, 2 Will, 0 Refuge, 3 Twin. Mystic Shot is probably a worthwhile keep for Zed. Arachnoid Sentry is, I think, a keep in general here. Whew. Very strange, very strange. I think I kick Rummage. I really want something to play early. And there's like big bombs here. Anything that deals 1 damage is good. This is actually kind of crazy. This is a crazy mulligan. I think I actually have to kick Mystic Shot. I think I just keep Sentry. That's a hard mulligan. You can do that in a lot of different ways. There's an argument to like, I think the one thing for certain is we have to do a couple aggressive kicks, because finding a Blade's Edge or a Static Shock is just too premium in the early turns against elusive, like shutting down Green Glade duos. But You can make an argument for like keeping Mystic Shot. I think like Mystic Shot against Zed is a little hard because they will often have Elixir of Iron, and you kind of have to respect that. So I don't like keeping Mystic Shot there. You can keep Draven just because Draven is just kind of like a power card in general. But again, I think you have to kick deep there. I chose to keep Arachnoid Sentry. Maybe it was a full mull. That's a hard one. There's a lot of ways to play that mulligan, for sure. Had good value on our Mystic Shot. We just got to take the shot and tank through here. Not keeping Draven versus elusives, what? I mean, Draven's quite good. I mean, does he have some secret interaction with elusives? Is he like... I don't really see that. I just want to take that kick pretty aggressively. That's kind of all I want to do there. I guess I just Ezreal here.
The world's a big place. Let's see all of it.
He might flip his Jinx next turn. Guys, he's running Ionia Freljord. These colors don't even have Jinx. Don't be silly. I mean, I can attack with Ezreal. Putting Ezreal down to 1 health doesn't actually really do anything. Because that deck can't really do 1 damage. So I think it's probably pretty free.
I know you're thinking and stuff, but could you maybe speed things? Gotcha.
I'm representing like a Thermo Beam by doing that. I think I'll just Thermo Beam the Blade Scout at this point. I don't know. The question is, would you rather have a Blade's Edge or a Thermo Beam for later? He hasn't played Green Glade Duo yet, and he had a spot for it, which means he's likely not on Duo unless he got it off the double top deck. Maybe I can keep... Maybe that means I keep Thermo over Blade's Edge. I just like Blade's Edge so much in this matchup, dude. I actually want to keep Blade's Edge, dude. It's going to hit value on like the Wayfinder Blade Scout. I think I want to play for like short-term targets, and that's Blade's Edge. I think I Thermo Beam here. I really, really respect Blade's Edge as a card. Like, even if he doesn't have Duo, it's still good. It's like quick levels. It'll always stop damage. So he's on a brick hand. It's like no Duo, no Conspirator, no Wayfinder. He could have Conspirator. If he has Conspirator, though, this is a throw because that loses Static Shock. So yeah, no Conspirator, no Wayfinder. He's definitely on a clunky hand. There's a certain amount of clunk here. I think I'll Chump Wump. I need something to get the rummage value there.
I got ways to find me mushrooms.
It's a good blocker against Omen Hawk. So this is kind of a throw. You have to play the Conspirator first, because if I have Static Shock, I kill both Omen Hawks and you're fucked. Like, I would always Static Shock there. It's a scare 3 of, and he's not in Deny Mana. Like, even if he has Elixir of Iron, I'm pretty sure... I guess there's kind of a weird argument there, but that can't be worth it, right?
You're between me and glory.
I don't think so. Why is no one conspiratoring Shadow Ass? You might do it in weird spots, but that's a tempo deck. Especially against this, you're on a clock. Ezreal just puts you on a major clock to win the game. If you don't kill him like early enough, you do just kind of lose. I mean, Ezreal attack never will allow me to Mystic Shot. Sometimes I can set up the Ezreal attack to get it through, but then I'll never have mana to cast the Mystic Shot anyway, so it can't really be worth it here. I'm in an open attack with the Chungus. Always gets a good trade. I can either pick off an elusive or go to town. Open attack with Chungus looks good. You could rummage. Does the rummage improve your open attack? I don't think so. I want to be attacking before he plays Jeweled Protector. We've got a good block against that, unless he got buffed off of Omen Hawk, which is fairly likely. I think I just take the attack I have. I'm pretty happy if it like kills an elusive. Elusives are spooky.
Don't want any trouble.
I think that's fine. I kind of devalues our Blade's Edge. I don't really believe in that, but he has no Wayfinders. I feel like Blade's Edge is always going to hit value no matter what. He feels so hard to devalue as a card. It's a little early for mushrooms. House Spider's good. So think about the game like that. That's how you should think about exchanges. It's not about... Yeah, and he had the Omen Hawk buff on the Protector, which means like... So that's a big difference maker. It's like, if it's not Omen Hawk buffed, then I can do a Blade's Edge, and then he plays the 4 for Protector, and then I've got a good attack. But if it's Omen Hawk buffed, then if I Blade's Edge that, I don't have a good attack there. I don't really mind trading for that. The question to ask is whether Blade's Edge will hit future value. And I think the answer here is yes, actually. Not House Spider. Super not House Spider. I think Blade's Edge always hits value, man. Like, he's not running the Spirit's Refuge version. I guess that makes it a bit weaker, but, I mean, you could go in for maybe like a double guillotine. Probably the Arachnoid Sentry turn. Looks pretty juicy. Set up for a multi-guillotine later, I think. Wow, you could go into the guillotine now, honestly. That's not bad. He's tapped out for deny. He's running the 2 deny version. I think we can get under deny pretty easily. We have 2 out of 8. We're getting a lot of Ezreal flips. If he attacks with a Jeweled Protector, he's playing into guillotine. Really hard. So it kind of stops the Jeweled Protector attack too. Yeah, I think we chill. I think I Blade's Edge here. Blade's Edge looks really sweet. Getting it under deny is really important. This is hard telegraphs. Yeah, he's sad. The fact that he just Poro emoted there makes it more likely he has a deny in his hand. Look at that Blade's Edge value, dude! Can you attack with Protector here? Protector plays into this. I don't know about this. So I think I just tank this too. I think that's fine. I mean, there's nothing that counters this, right? He has no mana for deny? Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why it increases the likelihood. If he had mana for deny, that's not a poor emote. That's a fucking, like, you know, Darius 3 times or Brown emote. That's the emote you'd do if you had mana for deny there. There's no counter to this. Looks good. I'm pretty happy to take 2 damage here. There's a call to, like, get excited this Shadow Assassin, stay buff a bit more damage. But most importantly, that stops the guillotine reuse, which is, I think, a little too important here. And of course, we've got the Rummage as well. Now he's Darius facepalming because he realized he shouldn't have attacked there. Oh god, what do we rummage away, dude? We have to rummage here. We have the free guillotine. What do we kick? Am I kicking Progress Day? I think I just kicked Get Excited. I think I kind of hate this card. I don't know, man. It's a little... Oh, God. This is actually crazy. Kick Spider? Spider? Are you guys crazy? Spider's nuts. Spider's like the best card in my hand. I think I actually have to kick Progress Day here, guys. I can't use it next turn. I don't know. Progress Day is definitely this alright card. I think I'll kick Get Excited. Pretty bad draw. There's a call to not take that a rummage because then you can Progress Day on this turn. It's not a bad not a bad option. Honestly, it isn't. I don't know. Spider here is okay. He'll probably play an elusive. I'll pass and see what he does, I think.
The order rewards its faithful.
Spider, Mystic Shot. Mystic Shot is kind of crazy. I think I'll open Mystic Shot here, actually.
Firing.
Yeah, this is a pretty weak hand now. Taking 6 is a little much. It's very possible I did need to kick Progress Day. Or not rummage at all there. Not rummaging at all there could have actually been really heads up. It feels so hard to not kick the free guillotine when you have it. But the fact that you have the curve for Progress Day on your attack turn is, I think, pretty big. This is why the sentry is necessary, by the way. And you still lose to Twin. I mean, does it make sense to Progress Day first? Is there a weird draw that would make us not sentry here? If he attacks and submits, I'll chill. So that's the Ezreal. Shouldn't matter what we block, right?
Obstacle, meet gauntlet.
I mean, it's temporary health either way, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we don't really have the clock to kill him fast enough here.
No way.
So this does have to be a loss. I felt pretty behind this entire game. Yeah, I mean, we're very far from anything here. Windfair? Yeah, Windfair is 1, you're right. I mean, there's nothing we can do here, right? Even if you really stretch your brain, you're completely fucked.
I'm basically 1/8 gay. Is there some strange combination of top decks here? I mean, it's not like the most impossible thing in the known universe. Okay, I mean, it's really impossible. It's like quite impossible. Like this is an easy 0%. This is the easiest 0% of my life. All right, we're way beyond that.
I walk your path alone.
Yeah, it's a somewhat unfavored matchup. I think it just depends on like having the draws early. I think even if we take a better line, it's like don't rummage at all and go for the Progress Day. We just don't have a winning game. Like what's a line that could have swung in this game? I don't think there was one in this case. Dude, I can actually almost survive here, right? It's crazy how close I can survive here, but I can't stop this 4/4 Shadow Assassin. This was almost crazy. It's a shame you can't like you can't put Noxian Guillotine on the stack twice. Man, if it was burst speed, that would be so crazy. It'd be pretty hilarious. It would be broken? Oh, I mean, maybe. It would be strong. So what's the last matchup? It's going to be Burn versus Ezreal. Here, let me be right back.
Fatality.
I think so. It's possible Ezreal's kind of like a bad deck to bring right now. It's a somewhat targetable deck. This guy has a lineup where both of his decks are, I think, a bit favored against Ezreal. I think both Burn and Elusives are like kind of 60% into Ezreal. It's none of them are like I don't think either of them is like a super hard favorite. And I think his burn variant is like slightly trolly, but it's still a favorite archetype.
Final round. Fight.
And it's super possible I overrate Nox Ezreal as well. Like, it came in big on the stats. I think it has no super bad matchups, but I mean it does do mildly unfavored against like some of the top decks. Mystic Shot does feel pretty bad into this. It's like all the best aggressive decks in the game devalue Mystic Shot as an answer. I kind of hate keeping Mystic Shot into like these kind of burn style decks because it usually is just going to be hitting kind of nothing. I'd really rather have like the early drops. It seems a little too risky to kick it. Pretty bad opener. I mean, we have the Spider, which is the single best card, but double Rummage makes that not really worth it. We're devaluing our Static Shock too much if we go in for a Thermo Beam here. It's impossible for him to block this Spider, I think.
The party has arrived.
I don't mind guillotining the Draven, honestly. Setting it into Mystic Shot range. So I feel like this is a premium static. His opener looks a bit weaker than mine. But, I mean, if he's got, like, basically a lot of burn rages, we might not necessarily be able to kill him quickly enough. It's probably a Mystic Shot on that. I mean, his deck has no way to keep it alive. He's not running Transfusion. I think it's just a straight up weakness to be skipping Transfusion. I think it's just, like, too good of a card. So, yeah, I mean, he can do nothing against us. I mean, he's not running Jinx, so I don't need Guillotine, so I can just take the Rummage now, right? There's a chance I might want my Thermo to deal 2 damage. That's basically only if he has a rear guard here. Could be Cask Salesman, actually. If he has double Cask Salesman, he actually will probably play one here. If he's got like a bricked up hand, it's very, very possible. So he just kicked, I think, a Blade's Edge and an Axe, right? Yeah, Blade's Edge and Axe. Passes back to me. And I think I will just take the Rummage here. I mean, I can't really need Guillotine in this matchup, I think. Yep. That's kind of the punish. I think I'm pretty okay with that, all things considered. I do actually kind of want to send my ones in for attacks here, so I might actually Thermo Beam that. I could also Arachnoid Sentry offensively, hilariously enough. I'm kind of the aggressor here somehow. I think he's likely on a second Cask Salesman. I think you save this for defense unless... I think it's very likely he's on a second Cask Salesman the way he played that. So what I think that means is I just chill.
No refunds.
Given the fact that I have easy ways to deal 1 damage, this is a pretty solid open attack. I do think I need to get chip damage in. What is he on, like Static Shock? It's pretty likely he's on a hand of Static Shock. Which means if he blocks my 1-1, he's just devaluing his own shock. So
Maybe you need a
that works
closer
well.
look.
Looks good to me. Pretty happy with this. That's good. Yeah, you can play some... excuse me. You can play some spiders into that attack. I mean, there's a call that you're going to have to get the Cask Salesman out of him eventually, but... if you put him on the second Cask Salesman hand, suddenly the ability to deal damage is really important. So this is why you don't play Funsmith. So obviously we're just gonna thermo beam that. There's nothing you can do about that. So it's Blade Jed's House Spider thermo beam for a perfect kill on both. Just triple checking my math over here. And at 1 mana, I mean, he can't really stop this. Problem with Funsmith is kind of in the name. So we're obviously like 2 mana up on that exchange. He's got to have a choked out hand. He's got to be on like, you know, big decimate draw, stuff like that. Second cast Salesman, I actually, you know, think is definitely all over. Good Arachnoid Sentry spot. We're the aggressor here. If we put some pressure on him, it can, you know, force us in range of our shots and potentially brick his Cask Salesman. We are pretty much going to be, that's a decimate, probably? We're pretty much going to be looking to skip the Ezreal win condition here. We're looking to, like, draw a Get Excited and just, like, swing on this attack, and then we're good. So we can stop 3 damage here. And he can't stop the Culling Strike, right? He actually has nothing that increases attack in that deck. He doesn't have, like, Brother's Bond or anything. And Brother's Bond wouldn't be enough anyway. On turn 7. He seems to have basically no units. He's actually on a unitless hand. I might actually just Culling Strike before I attack. The odds of him being like on a full spell hand and having no reaction is pretty high. And we know that Culling Strike's going into that anyway, right? Worst case scenario, he plays Trump Wump, but I mean, we can kill that anyway. Looks like the easiest Culling Strike of my life. I'll just own the board. For right now, I have a total of, what is this, 9 damage on board. Static is likely. And he has to static here, because that gives the action back to him so that he can develop a unit if he draws one. At 3 mana, of course. Let's roll 7 out of 8. So, Mystic Shrouding the Grenadier is going to flip the Ezreal. Give us a bit more damage, because otherwise it can block the sentry. Flipping Ezreal is probably not going to matter here. There is actually a chance we draw into it. I don't know. I mean, if we do end up getting like a progress day, could mean we're good. He could have a scary hand, though. I mean, his hand's stroked up, right? He probably has like second decimate used Cast Salesman, and that's scary. So it's definitely not impossible to lose this. Now, here's the consideration of Mystic Shot Face. Being mana efficient is actually pretty important if we're about to drop Progress Day. If we top deck Ezreal on the deck right now, can you rummage with a 0-card hand? Does it let you cast the spell? Oh, I can do the trick. Wait, but it wouldn't let me cast the spell if you can't rummage with a 0-card hand. It's quite interesting. Since you can't rummage with a 0-card hand, the Mystic Shot doesn't give us lethal if we top deck Ezreal, whereas if we top deck Progress Day, it's mana efficient, which is fairly important. I think it's a little trolly to Mystic Shot here. I don't know if that's the nuts.
Stop the die. Check me out. Time for a true display of skill.
Yeah. I mean, I actually have to use it now, right? So he can't respond to it next turn. And then I'll just open Rummage.
Firing.
Make sure his weird, like, double Get Excited hand can't counter us. It wouldn't matter either way, because we would open attack. Okay, So we take the first set. I don't know.
Fatality.
His trolley burn deck kind of lost him in that set. Kinko Elusives is a really good deck. Pretty unfair. I think that was a fairly clean game. I'm fairly happy with how that one went. I mean, it's not like we needed the top deck Ezreal to be good there. I don't think we did. It's pretty unlikely that we wouldn't have been good with another top deck. It's like, he has to be on Decimate to kill us there, unless he really is on the triple Get Excited hand. That's the only situation where Ezreal was needed to win that.